Good afternoon, everybody. All right, today on the Outhouse review, we're going to be taking a look at Odenwolf Scandi fixed blade knife. So stay tuned, and we'll get this thing unboxed, and we'll put it to the test. All right, guys, before we get started with the test, Odenwolf was kind enough to give me an affiliate link. So in the description of the video, you'll find a link, and there'll be a discount code, and that's going to be MBSS10, all capital letters. So you click on the link, you go to their site to purchase any knife there, and if you use the code, you'll save 10% off on your purchases, plus I get a small commission from any sales used to that link. So if you would, I'd greatly appreciate it. Help me out and help channel out a lot. Just remember though, it's last link click. So if you click on my link to go to it, but you also click on any other link, it'll send the sales to whatever you clicked on last. So keep that in mind, and I appreciate you guys. Now let's get to the knife. Let's get her unboxed. Decent little box. All right. Let's see, we get a moisture absorbent pack, and looks like one of those little microfiber rags you can use to clean the smudges off the blade. And there's a little pamphlet. This thing is just it's a thank you, and they also give you some of their best sellers here in little pictures. So, you know, if you wanted to go figure out what they got on the website before you actually went, kind of thing. But outside that, it looks like that's all we got. Simple plastic bag. Not a bunch of packing grease on this. It's pretty dry. All right, we're in an OD green here. We'll go ahead and do the sheath first. Pretty decent looking thermoplastic. Nice setup. We got a heavy duty nylon, almost like a seatbelt kind of material. Pretty heavy duty snap. That's adjustable. You can move this all over the place. I like that. Plus you got holes in here for lashing. Our belt loop, decently generous. That's 2 inches. Looks like we got a Velcro and a button, so you can actually not have to take your belt on and off to put that on there. That's a pretty good snap too. That does feel pretty decent, guys. That's not too hateful. And this actually lets this ride pretty nice. It's actually the top of the loops at least little. Oh no, it's not quite level with, but it will ride nice on the belt. You don't have to worry about that gouging your side. So I like the sheath. That's a plus. All right, now the knife is a D2 steel, Scandi grind, hence the name of the knife. Got about a 1/8 inch thick blade stock. Got a little bit of some ramp there, some jimping. Handle's pretty comfortable. Each grip, reverse or forward. Got an exposed part of the full tang here. You got to put a lanyard. That's actually fairly sharp. I'm actually impressed with that. Let me get the camera reset here real quick, guys, and we'll go ahead and put this thing to work. Okay, this knife is just shy of 9.5 inches total length. Got about a 4.5 inch, almost 4.5 inch blade. It's got some decent weight to it. It doesn't feel like lightweight junk. And of course, D2 steel. Well, let's see how she cuts. Make sure I'm getting that in the camera for you guys here. got the pretty heavy wind out there, guys. It's causing the door back there to open and shut. Digging in a little deeper there. Try to get. Oh, sorry, guys. I'm losing focus here and getting out of the shot. Not bad. All right, now real quick, we'll just move on, get the old ugly stick there, and we'll kind of carve into it with this, see how well she does. Here we go. We got our old ugly stick, guys. I'm just going to take this. I'm just going to kind of hog into it a little bit, just see what kind of resistance we get. Real good. I'm just going ahead and just go a little 3-finger here. Not bad. So I can definitely gouge in there. And it's taking that off pretty easily. I'm not putting really any force at all. But that is the beauty of a Scandi grind if you're working with some wood. I mean, it really does a great job. So if you're kind of into the outdoors thing or just a woodsman, wanting to practice bushcraft and stuff, that's where the Scandi grind really shines for processing wood. And me personally, yeah, there are grinds that are very specific to do a very specific job or specific task. But my own personal opinion, I have found, unless I'm trying to fillet a fish or something I need like ultra thin cuts of meat, I can pretty much use a Scandi grind for just about everything, even like especially utility blade, cutting cordage, boxes, like I said, especially working with wood. So I think the Scandi grind is a very good compromise if you're looking for a kind of a good all-around kind of deal. Get a nice Scandi grind or a convex grind, and it's a tough, long-lasting grind. But do a little research if you're going to sharpen your Scandi grinds, because you can easily turn them into a convex. So if you're wanting to try to keep them true Scandi, do a little bit of research and make sure you're doing that right. Now, I was looking on this one, and if it has a micro bevel, it is one of the most tiniest micro bevels I think I've ever seen on a knife. I think there may actually be one there, but it is almost a true Scandi going to a zero grind. But I think there may actually be a very tiny micro bevel there. But, kudos to them for the sharpening job. That's another big plus to get a knife that actually comes sharp. So that is greatly appreciated. So that's definitely a factor. And while I forgot to mention, the price point for this blade is only $49.99. So it is an absolute steal for the price. But we're going to get a little more into it and test it out here. So right back to you with the next test. Okay, guys, we've got a far more substantial hunk of wood here. This is pretty dry, so it's going to be a lot tougher. So we're going to put this down here, and actually let me get my actual proper batten, and we're just going to batten through this bad boy. Nice, no problems there. Now, I don't know why I feel my batten back here, because I'm actually going to need that again. Brain stopped working there. That's also the advantage of a Scandi grind. It's very aggressive wedge shape, and the thicker the stalk that your Scandi grind comes on, the more of a wood splitter it's going to be. And I've always, keep in some reasonable expectations. If, you got a knife with a stock thickness that this one's got, I mean, understand that don't go too overboard with trying to batten it through a really thick pieces of wood, because that's not going to do you or the knife any real good. And I know a lot of knives do hit well above their weight. And this one here is performing quite well. So we're getting some pretty good smooth cuts. And no, I will not sharpen this knife throughout the testing. It's going to go through each test, and it's going to be the sharpness it is going to the next test from the previous. So there won't be no cheating on that, because edge retention is another factor. It's really important. So we'll get to our next test. We'll hit some cordage here and see how well she cuts that. Here we are. I think I'm going to make a prediction that this should cut through this quite readily. So I got a pretty small hunk here, so I don't got much to hold on to. So hopefully she does clear through it pretty easily. Yeah. Oh man, that was nice. Ooh, come on, focus camera. And a nice clean cut. All right, like always, we'll take her down here on the stump, and we'll cut some pieces off of this. I'll just flop you down real quick there. Alright, got a glare. Hopefully I'm in focus, guys. Hold on. Let me see. Yeah, I see. Okay. Here we go. We're going to get up closer to that belly. Oh, yeah. That's a little, can't really hold on to that, but we'll just go ahead and keep cutting it. Nice. That performed very well. I'll tip this up so I can see what I'm showing you guys. That performed really well. Real good on that cord cutting here. That stuff is, like I said, it's abrasive resistant, and it's actually pretty rough on the edge of a knife. So that's pretty awesome. On to the next test. Here we go, guys. We got our piece of cardboard here. Ooh, that was a nice clean cut. See if I can get a little bit of curly. Oh, there we go. Perfect. A nice little curly cue to pop up. I'm just going to push it through. I'm not going to slice. Not bad. Pretty clean cut. Let's go for a nice long one here. I don't think I went all the way through that. Hold on. Try down lower and level that out a little bit. Now, I popped out, but it's just cutting it. No problem. Oh man, that actually is a real, I mean, I can actually feel that in the cut when I'm drawing that knife through there. It's like there's just a tiny bit of resistance when the knife first starts in, and then it just, that is an incredibly straight edge too, guys. Like, it is dead center perfect with the center of this knife handle. Tip. Try to get that in the focus for you. Pretty good tip. Very acute. But there is a little bit of beef behind it, which is definitely a plus. Let's go ahead and we'll go to the universal sharpness test here. See if I can try to get in the focus where you guys can see. Oh wow, yeah, no resistance. Come on, camera, focus. That, I mean, that was like, that was comfortable enough I could shave my face with that. I'm pretty impressed, guys. Again, now this is D2, and when D2 steel was done right, it makes a very good blade. And it seems to me thus far that they've done a pretty good job with it. So here's what I'm going to do here. I want to grab the wind doesn't shut the door on there. All right, let's grab a piece of oak. Oh man, I hope I don't get splinters. This thing is a dry, ragged mess. There we go. Just going to go into it. Oh, that's nice. This is seasoned red oak, guys. This ain't no pine, no poplar, no maple. All right, let's just drop camera down real quick. Got my log there, a little wobbly on there. This is not a heavy knife. It's not meant to be a chopper, but it's actually going quite respectable. Getting all parts of this blade in on this action here. Get in there and twist that knife blade because if I want to see if she'll break. Not bad. All right. Here we go. Solid red oak anvil here. Y'all can count along at home, but feel free to do it because I'm not. All right. Oh, yeah. Edge retention, A+. Okay, guys, final thoughts. Thus far, I like it. Like I said, now one of my favorite steels right now is DC53. But I've had, the last several years, I've gotten a few D2 steel blade knives. It's not bad, like I said, once it's done right, and so far everything I've seen with this one is leading me to believe that Odenwolf did this D2 steel justice. When I was hitting that piece of oak, the stick, and I was kind of, I don't know if you can see it in the video, but from my angle, the blade was flexing a little bit, but immediately come back to true. So that means that the D2 is not over hardened, and its edge retention means that they did a very good job down here where your actual cutting edge is, and the hardness on that is quite well. I do believe we're looking at somewhere near that Rockwell of around 60, 62 on this knife, and it is still hair popping sharp. That's fantastic. And 40 bucks. And I really love the fact that it's a good budget friendly knife. It's a nice bushcraft survival kind of knife size. And like I said, it's underrated, but having a decent sheath with your knife is amazing because then you'll actually probably want to carry it. And like I said, this will make a great pack knife if you don't want to wear it on your belt. An emergency knife, throw in your truck kit, car kit, whatever kit. It has a relatively small footprint. There's not like a whole lot of extra bulk on this material for the sheath sticking out, which I love. I mean, I saw a lot of real expensive knives that come with a really big, kind of more blocky deal in its actual Kydex. I don't know if that's just a necessity because of the Kydex material, but this one is a pretty good form factor to the knife. Good carry options. You know, you can even do multiple different carry styles. Or if you don't even like this particular belt loop attachment, you can replace it because this is all standard. The holes the, you know, how that lines up, that's all standard. You can get aftermarket belt loops if you desire, or take one off an existing knife, slap it right on this thing. Now this is definitely currently going to go into my rotation. So any more videos you see for a while, you'll probably see this one on my side versus the If and Grow 134, which I am quite assured that I have tested it, and I can confidently say that that knife is fantastic. So now I want to take this one, and plus it's a bit lighter too than the 134, the If and Grow 134. So this will actually be quite a pleasure to carry because it's not that heavy, but like I said, it hits above its weight. So if you guys are just starting out and you're looking for an affordable bushcraft knife, I'd say at least put this one as one of your options. I will definitely get back with further testing as time goes on. Like I said, we've exceeded a year with most of my If and Grow knives, and I use them on a regular. I mean, Bushcraft use them, rough hillbilly farm boy use them, and they've all stood the test of time, held their edges. That DC53 steel is chef's kiss. Now, this one, I got a good feeling about, and that was the primary reason that I actually selected this one when I got in contact with them. It really seemed like it was going to be a good knife, and it hasn't let me down this far. I know it's brand new, shiny out of the box, but I'll test it for you people. So if you're all interested in this knife, if this review doesn't win you over, there's a lot of other ones out there, even longer term reviews of them. But I'm going to try to continue to do some more work with this company because this is a very good start to a working relationship, my personal opinion. But we'll see how that goes in the future. I really appreciate you guys for watching. Please, if you would, like, share, and subscribe. If you want to support the channel, I have a Buy Me a Coffee. As soon as I get some people on that who want to do the monthly subscriptions, there will be gear giveaway. I'll be crafting items in my forge as giveaway prizes for anybody who's a monthly subscriber. But you don't have to. You can literally you can go there, just a one-time little thing, and donate a penny if you want. So I'd appreciate that. It really helped me out and help my channel out. And also, check in the link. There will be a link to click on to go to Odenwolf, and there will be a discount code in that description as well. So if you want to purchase any of their items, purchase it through their site and don't click off anything, or otherwise it'll actually skip over me as being the affiliate, and I won't get any affiliation profit off the sale. But you'll get a 10% discount using the code. And thank you guys. I appreciate you kindly. And I'll see y'all in another video.